Okay.
Hello! That's me needing more coffee, but already having a lot of coffee. So this is Sarah. I'm over here at the Hoffman Fabrics booth. I'm in booth 525. And this is Paradigm, my fun new collection. It's with Me and You Fabrics. That's sort of the modern, the younger, the hip. Are you tripping?
I'm tripping.
Don't die. So it's kind of like the cool, hip, modern sect of Hoffman Fabrics. And I'm working on one of my prints, but how about I show you the prints first, that way you know what
Perfect.
I'm working on. Okay, here are my 7 bolts of fabric. I can put some light on them for you.
Daylight.
Yes, love it. I mean, we're all daylight fans, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, 7 bolts of fabric, 23 prints total. Kind of fun. Because 2 of them, you cut off 2-yard panels and you get 8 fat quarters that are already ready to go. And so you just cut those off.
That's so great.
2 of them are half bolts. So it's the same print, but down the middle is sort of your dividing line of cool and warm. Mm-hmm. And then 2 prints that are like these big, really cool, large scale backgrounds. So they make for really good backing because you don't really see the repeat. And then this one, which is just my nice little tonal blender, but I truly designed it. Let me take it off here. It's meant to be like lace doilies, but that way it's a really nice background that looks and reads white when you actually use it. Can you see that in the light?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yep.
So you can see even here, Nicholas Ball, Quilts from the Attic, used it in his background here. So it doesn't really do much other than add just a little bit of dimension, having that tone-on-tone print to it. But we can't quilt all the time, ever. So I wanted it to work for embroidery. And look at what Tinker Ellen made. Isn't that amazing?
And she did the stitches over that panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she cut out one of those doilies and just started grabbing her floss and going to town. And this is exactly what I wanted it to do. So that's a mix of satin stitches, running stitches, French knots. I think I see some fern stitches in there a little bit. There's some faux couching right in here. Or I guess it'd be embroidered couching. I'm used to quilt couching. Isn't that amazing?
It's gorgeous.
And then she didn't stop there because I just wanted the hoop. She goes, no, I'm going to make something else. So she turned it into the Tinker Tote. It's just adorable. And she's got the pattern coming out. I mean, and this is a great little size. Like, this is a good kind of like carry your extra items with you size. I kind of feel like I should take this to the market to go get my lunch later. So
Perfect.
yes. So I'm working on a hoop myself, but here's a trick that I do, and I think a lot of people do this. I wrap my base hoop in fabric, so it stabilizes my top fabric from slipping once I have it in the hoop. And so I just use extra binding strips that I have cut off from my quilts, which I did this with this pillow actually. Mm-hmm. This is the extra I had from this pillow, but also selvage strips work. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to quilt with those anyway, so if you're not going to put them into your fun little selvage art on your pieces, grab your selvages and wrap it around. And I just make sure that the knot where it loops under is not going to be up into the fabric itself. Personally, I like using my light box, my Daylight Company wafer light box, to know exactly where to position this, because if I just did it like this and I hadn't already done it and you didn't see the creases, you don't know if you're ever completely off one way or the other, you know? So that way, once you have the hoop on, if you get it too close, you know how it's too hard to get under there on some of them? So this being a light fabric, I put my light box on the lowest, well, not super lowest, but pretty low light setting. And I set my base hoop down and I put this right over it, so that way I could truly position it and I have the shadow then of the hoop coming straight up.
Perfect.
And then that way I can hoop it up just as I want it, and we'll just say that's, see, it's not. I need my light box. We need to go over to the Daylight booth.
No kidding.
And then it's good to go. And I guess it truly depends on what you're going to do with it in the end, of whether or not you stabilize it. For this one, when I do it, I think I'm just gonna leave it as the fabric alone. And once it's all done, I'll put a stabilizer, an iron-on stabilizer on the back to protect all of the stitches.
Yep.
So that way I can put it into a tote or something like that and it won't snag. But this one, funny enough, this was the original version of this print. So this is my strike off, and you can see the difference of, and as I drop it on your lap, sorry. So you can see the difference in the size and even the color. This one is a little bit more of a taupey color here, and this one's a little bit more of kind of a grayish, as we call it. It's not taupe, it's not gray, it's,
Grayish.
so it's grayish. So I ended up liking this colorway better. This one just, it was a little too dark and loud for me. And the fact that I did want it to actually work for traveling, handwork, that type of thing, it just seemed kind of big and cumbersome to have to travel with a hoop this size.
Right.
Even though I know you can reposition, but when it's something like this, like a mandala or a doily or a flower, it just, I don't know, I'd rather just do it all at once and keep everything symmetrical. So this is the size I went with. It works perfectly for a 6 or 7 inch hoop, which we can easily throw into our tote bags and our travel bags.
Perfect.
So there's that one. And I figured, why not go ahead and put together my own private floss collection with the best floss in the world, the Aurifil. So I've got one of the 14 around my neck on my Notion necklace. So this is my pretty yellow. And the colors I chose, yeah, it's a spectrum of color, but it's not true in-your-face rainbow still. It's still those tertiary kind of fun jewel tones. You can see everything here. It's not, you got some weird like lime meets highlighter color, but weird mustard too. And then of course pinks and purples. And I don't know, I like the palette, but of course I do, I picked it. So here are, let me set this down. There are 2 floss collections that are available only for me. Let me go that way, right? 1 and 2. So there's floss 1, floss 2, which is warm and cool. And so here is the yellow for here. And then we've got the others. Here we go, we can move that. Oh, we'll put it right side up. There we go.
Yeah,
and I have those ones flip-flopped, but that's okay. So they all blend within the Paradigm collection, but they also go really well. They go really well with the curated bundle of Inda Batiks that I have to go with Paradigm. So this is the Paradigm bundle of Inda Batiks. And so they go really well. In that I even want to trace aspects of my doily print onto some of the more solid Inda Batiks, and then use the thread on there to do like a pop of color. Yeah. So,
awesome.
What else? Let's see. I'm just kind of gonna go with the color layout for this piece that I'm playing with. So I started with the brightest yellow, and I organized them into the warms, into the purples, and ending with the greens, because to me this is foliage out here, so I kind of want to end with the leafy greens. And I'm just gonna have a mix of, I started with running stitches, and now I'm doing like a starburst, and I'll probably, when I'm done, actually go in here with some opposite color French knots. But I just kind of want to have fun going around these lines as a guideline to fill in a lot of satin stitching. And then of course I've got my handy little needle minder that Juliet, Tartan Kiwi, made for me. And it's in our...
So cute.
Right? And it matches me. You like that?
So well
This was my mother's back in like 1988.
That's amazing.
Yeah, seriously. We're clothing hoarders apparently. So this is always key for me when I'm doing slow stitching, is to have some type of needle minder book that you can keep your extra needles. When you have a cut of floss or thread that you want to keep handy and not tangle, it sticks really well to your batting in here. And then I always have sew tights with me for the EPP that I do, which, oh, EPP.
Tell us
Even though
more.
I'm showing you the floss, but I have a pattern coming out with the DIY Addict. It's called Star Blossom. I can show you the start of it. So here's the Star Blossom pattern. It's all EPP and applique, truly, because the little circles, oh my goodness, no. We will just applique those. Right? So, and here's a little one that's already started. Let's see if I can get it. Woo! There we go.
Wow. That's
Isn't that
awesome.
fun? And it's kind of a fun play on transparency too, using the batiks. Except, y'all, I'm telling you right now, and I'll never admit it again, I flip-flop these two colors. They're supposed to be like that. Oops. Shh. Unique design element. Unique design element. So this even, ooh, okay, now I kind of want to do this. So when I do EPP, I tend to use the Aurifil 80 weight. So that's sort of my favorite for the EPP. However, you don't have to use just 80 weight. You can also use, I'll show you this in a moment. You can also use 50 weight for EPP because it's a really nice flat, and being 2-ply, it doesn't have a lot of bulk to it, but it's 50 weight, so it's really nice and thin. And I have the coveted 2600 in my collection. This is just sort of the universal piecing color. I have a new universal favorite for quilting, FYI. What is this one? I keep forgetting. 4651. I don't know what its actual name is. The girls will tell you. I call it Pink Lemonade because it's a really fun mix of warm yellow, some like neutrally pink, and then sort of a cool lilac. But I was using it to quilt almost everything, and it blends so well between the warm and the cool colors of the fabrics. But this is the Paradigm Thread Collection, and it goes with all of this. I love it because, you know me, I'm a solids girl. But I went with 9 variegated threads in the 40 weights just to give a little extra dimension to some of these fabrics because there are so many colors. Being that it's digitally printed, we can have so many colors in these prints. We're not limited like screen prints are. So this just adds a lot of movement and depth within the colors of the fabrics if you add these colors of the threads to it. And then of course we've got our 50 weight for piecing. And I had to go with my basic denim and my basic cotton candy or ballet slipper. I don't know. I haven't quite decided what that one is yet. I think it depends on how hungry I am. I keep trying to kill you with this, right? But these two are 28 weight, which I love for quilting and extra embellishment. But you can embroider with these too, even the 40 weights. Just double or triple them up. And that would actually be really cool to get some really fun extra movement with those variegated thread colors. With the 28 weights, I am sure I'll probably go in, being that I'm talking a lot.
But it's all good information.
So you can see I've got denim as sort of a root throughout the collection.
Yeah.
It's just random denims, and I didn't know exactly what color navy I wanted, so I just went to the Pantone book and I looked up if there was a dark denim. There's a dark denim.
Yeah.
And so this color is Pantone dark denim, FYI. So I kind of went with that and that soft girly pink just to kind of have a good balance of the pink and blue, which just seems so weird. My whole life I grew up with my mom in a pink and blue house, and I swore I would never do that. I turned into
Here we are.
I turned into my mother. It's all right. So yeah, so I'll probably go through and actually, as I'm done embroidering this, where the line art is, I think I want to go through with a double strand of the 28 weight denim.
Yeah.
And kind of just outline a little bit to give it that sort of hint of shadowing and outline, since it is so deeper and richer than the bright blue that's in the Floss Collection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll be gorgeous.
Yeah. And the Floss Collections, they're private. You can't get them anywhere else, so you got to get a hold of me.
You got to go through Sari.
And they're limited. There's like 50 of each color. That's it. So once they're gone, they are gone. Gone. But yeah, that's what I'm working on.
That's awesome.
And then whenever I don't know, because I'm self-taught pretty much whatever I do. It's bad to say that, right? But I am. I just kind of get things done. So I have this fun little hand embroidery booklet. It's sort of my cheater booklet of, I know someone did that once, and now I know what an actual bullion stitch is, where you can do like the pretty rosettes. And so this is kind of a fun little booklet that you can get it, I mean, I'm sure you can get it at any little local quilt shop or even hand sewing place, but it's just kind of fun to give you ideas of things, and it's travel size.
That's perfect.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
That's so great.
I know. And then, have you seen these from Sawyer Creek Artistry?
No.
This guy, his name's Rich Woolpert. He and his wife run Sawyer Creek Artistry. He hand carves all of these, whether it's a needle minder, they're in there, it's magnetized. There we go. So it's a needle minder. He does also seam rippers and awls, little teeny tiny toolkits.
Wow.
But I think I've I've established what my
Coordinated it
favorite
well.
color is.
And that could even go onto your...
Yes, and I do
Yeah.
at home. I keep my little toolkit like this. It stores little tools that I
Yeah.
use for my bobbin tightening. And I've got one at home that this guy, I have another one for at home. This is my travel one. But yeah, my little notion necklaces, I keep everything on me that I need.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there you go.
And then if folks want to get those, they go to your site as well. Or no,
The notion necklaces?
Yeah.
Get a hold of me. I've got them. You can just DM me or whatever. I'm going to get them listed on the website soon. But honestly, that's a lot of work. So just send me a message. It's easier and quicker that way.
So perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
you.
Sari. We're really excited about the new collection and can't wait to see what's happening with the floss as well.
Thanks for coming over.
See you soon. Bye.